يا طيبة يا طيبة يا دوا العيانة اشتقنا لك والهوى نادانا.
We give thanks to Almighty Allah, the one worthy of our thanks, and we seek protection from him over Satan, the one that has been led astray. Our discussion today is based on the promise Almighty Allah made to us. From the glorious book, Surah An-Nahl, chapter 16, verse 112, it states that it's going to provide us with enough to give us satisfaction, good health, and rest of mind wherever we find ourselves, wherever places we may be. From these places, we will see a place before a country, before we get the citizens of such country. For example, we see a place before we get America as a country. From America, we get the citizens of America. For example, we see a place before we get India. From India, we get the citizens of India. Due to the promise Almighty Allah made to us, it benefited each country with resources. Nigeria as a country has so many resources. One of those resources is land. Some parts of land is good enough for agriculture, while some other parts is good enough for livestock. Also, some other parts are neither good for agriculture nor livestock because they are made up of rock, desert, or too swampy. This is the reason for the green color in Nigeria flag, because it is a key source to agriculture and it is a means of development. 75% of our citizens live off agriculture in one way or the other. Now, we want to call the attention of our government to agriculture and livestock because most of our focus has been shifted to crude oil, which cannot be the only resources that can build this nation. It cannot be the only resources that can develop a nation. It cannot give us good road network, it cannot give us security, it cannot give us fertilizer, enough employment for the citizens. So we want to call the attention of the government to all other resources, including agriculture and livestock, not to put their focus only on crude oil, which cannot be the only resources to build our nation. Looking at the things our country benefited from agriculture in the past, the proceeds from Granite Pyramid was used to build the university in Zaria, which we all know as the ABU University, from the northern part of Nigeria. Also, from the western part of Nigeria, the proceeds from cocoa was also used to build the Obafemi Awolowo University, OAU, and a TV company, also a radio station, first in West Africa. From the eastern part of Nigeria, the proceeds from palm oil was used to build UNN, University of Nigeria, Nsukka at Enugu State, thereby making government to formulate policies in the past. The first policy was formulated in 1962 to 1968 through National Agricultural Development Plan by Cooperative Bank to give farmers loan to improve their farming. The second policy was formulated in 1972 called the Farm Settlement Schemes, National Accelerated Food Production Program in 1972. The third policy was formulated in 1976 called Operation Feed the Nation. That's to provide the citizens with enough food. Also in the 1976, another policy was formulated called the River Basin and Rural Development Authorities, which will ensure the continuity of farming during dry season. 1980, another policy was formulated called the Green Revolution Program. All these policies that were formulated in the past now cease to exist. Was the ideas of our past leaders not good enough for the continuity of this policy to develop the country, or what? Had to be done by government to revive agriculture. Firstly, government should provide equipment and machines to ease the labor of the farmers, so the people will not be looking at agriculture as something difficult and tedious. Secondly, government should encourage the farmers by granting them loan, by giving them chances to improve their farming, because when there is no equipment and machines to improve their farming, then at least they should be given loans to improve their farming. Thirdly, if we look at most of our local foods which are being produced in this country, most especially local rice, which we all know as Ofada rice, it is one of the most expensive local food we are producing in this country. Why? Because there are no machines and equipment to ease the labor of the farmers. Therefore, when something big When much labor is put into something, we expect such labor to be appreciated with big rewards. That's why most of our local foods being produced in this country are too expensive. Thirdly, there was a law brought up by the government called the Land Use Act, which states that the land belongs to the government. It should not be so. You can't expect me as a farmer to invest much on the land that I know that belongs to the government, which they can come at any time to collect it from me. So I'll be discouraged to invest much on the land because my passion for expansion will be very, very low. So we want to urge the government to review the law that states land belongs to the government, which does not supposed to be so. Now talking about what we all shifted our focus into, which was crude oil. Crude oil was discovered in 1956 by Shell Petroleum Company within the Niger Delta area in Oloibiri. Crude oil was discovered and refineries were needed to refine crude oil into petrol, diesel, kerosene and gas. Now that we have shifted our focus from agriculture and livestock and from other resources in this country, what impact has crude oil given to the nation? What impact has it done to the nation? Has it given us enough employment? Has it given us good road network? Has it given us enough security? Has it given us enough social amenities? Now, refineries are needed to refine crude oil into commercial qualities and quantities. The first refinery was built in 1965 with the capacity of 38,000 barrels per day. The second refinery was built in 1978 with the capacity of 100,000 barrels per day. The third refinery was completed on October 1980 with the capacity of 100,000 barrels per day. The fourth refinery was completed on March 1989 which was raising the capacity of Nigeria refinery to 445,000 barrels per day. Now, is it advisable to use billions of naira to maintain the previous refinery, or we should build new ones that are modernized into our state that we are going to pick randomly within the country? Instead of using billions of naira to maintain previous refineries, why not use those money to build modernized ones and also share it among all the resources we have in our country, and also help us to develop our country by giving us employment for the public, good road, security, electricity and energy. Government must make it mandatory to put their focus on various industries by funding them with finance and supervision, also with right human capacity. For a country to be developed, it needs the industries also to be in function. Industries that are functioning before provide employment for the public, revenue for the government, and also profit for their industries. For example, the Ajakuta industry and all the steel industries that are supposed to support automobile sector had all ceased to exist. In Kano and Kaduna alone, we have over 3,000 industries, not to mention other states. But now the industries that are functioning now are no more less than 10, which then the 3,000 industries are providing employment for the youth, revenue for the government, and also profits for their industries. Their ceasing to exist now lead to social crimes, hooliganism, social ill, cyber crimes, and all other crimes we know, which is giving our country a very big challenges. For industries to grow, we need stable electricity and energy. In the past, we used to pride ourselves as one of the countries with stable electricity and energy in Africa. But now the story has changed. Electricity and energy was founded in Lagos 1898 and was given the name NEPA in 1972, which we all know as PHCN, the Power Holding Company of Nigeria. If there is anything that is hindering the stability of electricity and energy in the country, the public and the government should know about it from the PHCN. So we'll find a solution together, because this country belongs to us. It belongs to the people and the government. So for a better outcome, we should all come together to find a solution. Now that we've outlined what government will do for us to have a better life, a good standard of living, we as the citizens, what do we offer? As a man, what do you offer to your country? As a woman, what do you offer to your country? As a market man and market woman, what do you offer to your country? As a student, what do you offer to your country? Don't put it as a must for the government to provide you with job. As soon as you're stepping out of the institution, don't say it's a must, you must use your certificate to work in any institute or in any industry you want. Don't be a burden upon the government. Look around you, what can you do to ease the burden on the government? Look around you, what can you learn to have you to be an asset on the government? Don't be a burden on the government. Don't wait for the government to provide you with jobs. Don't wait for the government to make your life better. Look around you, what can you do to ensure and to give you a good standard of living? As a market woman, you can't set up a business with 50,000 naira and within 6 weeks you want to buy a cloth worth 20,000 naira from the business. You alone buying a cloth worth 20,000 naira from the business, within 3 weeks you've ruined the business. And these are the things that we are neglecting. As a market man, you set up a business with 15,000 naira and you want to buy jeans and trousers worth 5,000 naira within 2 weeks. How is it possible? As a father, you're sending your son cigarettes. What kind of son are you offering to the country? So ask yourself, as a citizen of this country, what do I offer to the country to make it a better country?